It said our ancestors are trapped within us. That's called the mitochondria. Let's pull it up. All right, so one time for the ancestors, all time for the ancestors. Every time for the ancestors. I am about to show to you how our ancestors are trapped and enslaved within us, and that they want us to free them. Let me see. How did bacteria become mitochondria? Mitochondria originated by permanent enslavement of purple non-sulfur bacteria. We got a few things to unpack there, but the main things are enslavement and of purple bacteria. Because what's purple bacteria? Purple bacteria are gram-negative proteobacteria that are phototrophic, capable of producing their own food via photosynthesis within us. Now, we have purple bacteria that is permanently enslaved. They ain't say it was eradicated or it does not exist. It says this permanent bacteria, this purple bacteria is permanently enslaved. Now let me pull up the etymology of permanent. It comes from the Latin per, meaning through, and manere, remain. So per manere, through, remain, meaning our ancestors are seeing us through, y'all. They never left. When they say permanent, they mean they seeing us through. We still have this purple non-sulfur bacteria. It's just pleomorphed into different shapes and colors and all of that there above. But permanent, don't forget, they seeing us through. They remaining through with us until we start doing the things to unlock them. I asked, is mitochondria used in carbon dating? Because carbon dating is what they use to see how old the planet is, how old a fossil is, how old this dinosaur was, or this or that. That's what they using, carbon dating. Remember carbon, we are carbonated beings, right? And they said, yes, mitochondria are used in carbon dating and in the study of human evolution. Because mitochondria has its own DNA. It's called mtDNA. And we're going to get into that a little bit into it. Mitochondria has its own DNA. A lot of it is synthesized from things outside of the mitochondria. They're pulled into the mitochondria from the cytosol, but 1%, they say, of the DNA produced inside the mitochondria derives from the mitochondria. So it's self-producing, the mitochondria within us, the ancestors, because this is the bacteria and the carbon dating. They're using the mitochondria for carbon dating. When they're doing ancestry tests, my ancestry, whatever, 23andMe, whatever, they want the mitochondrial DNA to check them roots back on the mama's side. Mitochondrial DNA is different from nuclear DNA. Mitochondrial DNA is circular. Versus nuclear DNA is linear. Linear has an end to it. That's why the linear DNA has telomeres at the end, like holding shoestrings together so that they don't unwind. But once we tap into that mitochondrial DNA, you don't have to worry about no telomeres unwinding because it's circular. Longevity, baby. That's longevity, long life. Talk about Abraham and Methuselah and all these people living such and such age. Mitochondria DNA. Ancestors. Very crucial for us as carbonated beings who were once called colored people. And it's got a lot to do with our ancestors and mitochondria. Mitochondria, okay, I said, what is the real color of the mitochondria? Mitochondria are an overall orangish brown color due to the various chemicals composing them. They contain cytochrome C, which is green, flavin, which is yellow, and sulfur iron clusters, reddish brown. Superman. That's the colored people right there. That just goes to show in our genes, they know we are the colored people, and that the enslavement is inwardly on our minds now. They don't have to put chains on us. They got our mitochondria enslaved. Think about that. And you helping them out. Every time you want to eat a piece of chicken, every time you want some crab legs, putting uric acid all in your mitochondria, going through your TCA, your citric acid cycle, breaking down, putting the wrong chemical ash byproducts in your body. You're helping enslave your ancestors. Versus eating some fruit. It's something called bacteria common ancestor. I'm going to read this. The last universal common ancestor, Luca, Luca, that's very similar to Lucy, the first woman, the first human they said was ever on Earth. That's a different story. The last universal common ancestor, Luca, is the hypothesized common ancestral cell from which the three domains of life, the bacteria, the archaea, and the eukaryote, originated. So that's just showing all of the bacteria, even the eukaryotic bacteria, goes back free, not enslaved, purple bacteria. That purple is important, right? The only thing that didn't happen is that purple got separated. Now we got red blood and blue blood, deoxygenated versus oxygenated. You see what I'm saying? But they meet up in the hepatic portal vein. That red and that blue blood come together and they make that purple blood before they get sent up to the brain, the upper room. Are you hearing me? It's all within the body, everything that they're talking about. The mitochondria has a life cycle where it degenerates and repairs itself within itself. The only problem while we're decaying is because that mitochondrial DNA is enslaved. I don't think I really got nothing else to say. Gratitude and healing.